Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamak, this is Limbus Company Regular Health Checkup. In the last episode, Hohenheim distorted because he was curious. He legit just said, okay, turn on the monolith. What? Hopefully you watched it so you know what happened. Hohenheim's Fathoms. We're at the starting point of the Dungeon of Fathoms. We found ourselves in a room that appears to be a workshop of ego gears. If you have scored below 100% synchronization in the aptitude test, take only a single ego from here. An ominous warning sign greets us all, and the same words repeat ceaselessly from the speaker. The sinners all take a look, enticed by the sign telling us we can pick up ego gears, but what we find are ego gifts. What? These aren't ego gifts. These are them gifts or something. These ain't ego gears, these are them gifts or something, right? It appears that ego are manifest here in the shape of ego gifts. Can't just take them all? This is a mirror of Fathoms. As it differs from the usual mirror dungeons, it is highly advisable that its rules are followed. What should we do? We can get a burn gift, a rupture gift, or a keywordless gift. Well, I don't have any strong burn or any strong rupture, so I guess we've got to take the keywordless one. This one seems best suited for the situation we're in. We take the illusory hunt ego gift. Oh, focused encounter damage bonus, nice. Doesn't really look like there's going to be much variation. So let's think it over.
이거 참 설레는구려.
L Corp branch control team? What's going on with them? Good, it appears that I can censor these with my own will, at least to a degree. Oh, that's from what's-his-face, Hohenheim. Your mission here is to classify my distortion, reach the end of this dungeon of the Fathoms, and bring me back. Your mission, however, does not involve digging into my past. It appears that we have a passing familiarity with this place. Us. What is it that they seek to convey? I don't believe any proper level of communication will be feasible, given that you are in Dungeon of the Fathoms. Well, then do something about it. I regret to tell you that the setting of this dungeon is out of my hands. Had it been up to me, I would have manifested a place that was much more fascinating than this. Like that library, fabled to have every book in existence. You used to work for the Lobotomy Corporation. One of my past careers, yes. Us. Diplomacy did not seem to be an option here. The censored people brandished their weapons threateningly and stood in our path. Looks like we're gonna have to take them down if we want to make any progress here. It can't be helped. Let's get ready for a fight. Censored Lobotomy Core L3 agent. Great, he censored a lot. The guard gains shield HP for every rupture on the target. Heal your remaining HP. Coin power for every rupture on target. If target has rupture, gain coin power. Deal SP damage. If target does not have rupture... Oh, if target doesn't have rupture, gain clash power. That's interesting. Less than 50 HP, reuse the coin. Heal HP equal to damage dealt. Okay. Weak to blunt and wrath. On hit, heal 5 HP, 50% chance to inflict bleed. Combat start. Lantern. If this unit is targeted by 2+ units, gain protection, clash power up, and plus coin boost. Censored Courage. If the target is staggered or defeated, raise max HP by 20% of the max HP at encounter start. If this unit failed to hit with its attack skills, raise min and max speed values. Gain fragile for every identity that targeted this unit, to a maximum of 5. If all enemies attack this unit, attack weight +1. Offense level to the number of enemies when this unit heals. Heal additional HP. Weird. Maddened. When at low morale, target units indiscriminately. Target indiscriminately gain clash power and damage up. So they only lose SP based on ally deaths. Oh dear, that's not a nice thing to start with. Okay, this gives us this at least gives us whistles. Man, my entire team is based around PS. I'm going to have to let him get off a whole bunch of free hits. And they're still going to get SP damage off, damn it.
이 작사엔 필살의 심령이 담겨있지. 포기하게. 꿰뚫려라. 알겠어.
완성되었나?
너희의 무기로 이 혈투를 승리로 이끌겠다. 아류탄초 경혈 유치.
Alright, not the worst situation, but I really wish I had brought in a Wrath Blunt team. We came across a group of researchers passionately poring over various documents. They're having a debate about two subjects, emotions and flame. Regular flames don't seem to hurt the abnormalities very much, so why does this work, I wonder? Perhaps a greater degree of the wrathful emotions opens up the room for the fire's heat to touch the abnormalities and distortions, both entities of the unknown. You must have noticed us listening in on their conversation intently. One of them approaches us with a glint in their eyes. Are you the sample who's agreed to the experiment? If so, try this on. In the researcher's hands was what looked like an ignition plug, or a testing machine of sorts. Run Wrath and Lust to gain a burn ego gift. Forced can do it. Actually, wait, we have to flip 2 heads versus flipping 1 heads of 2. Oh, what an interesting reaction. Decent synchronization rate as well. Maybe the researcher liked what they saw. After scribbling their observations onto various papers, the researcher let Don Quixote go. Don Quixote took off the gear and presented it before the researcher to return it, but they simply shook their head in response. The gear seems to fit you perfectly. Take it with you. Gift reignition plug earned. Selected identity healed for 30 HP and SP. Oh well, if I'd known about that.
지금은 성공했지만 앞으로 어떨지.
Base attack skills that inflict burn. Deal 20% more damage and inflict 1 more burn count on hits with these skills against enemies with burn or unique burn. Inflict a defense level down 2 times per identity. Identities with base attacks inflict burn, potency, count, or unique burn. All base attacks, at turn start, gain offense level up equal to the number of surviving turns, except for the turn they joined, to a maximum of 5. Okay, once more into the breach.
천천히.
So, how do we know this guy is actually distorted? He doesn't sound any different from his usual self. The sanity degradation due to distortion affects every subject differently. I mean, yeah, but censoring his own fathoms? But Hohenheim, you're in a dungeon of the fathoms. We will see through it with Dante's powers, whether you want to show us or not. You make a fair assessment. How about this, then? If you are to see them anyway, allow me to save you the trouble, and give you a quick rundown instead. Come visit me as soon as you finish watching my tale. This tale began when that man walked into my laboratory. Yes, I had a personal laboratory all to myself, one of the few perks of being an elite researcher. This guy's just telling the story however he wants to, isn't it? I'm Mr. Hohenheim. L Corp Branch Control Team? Let me think, I don't quite remember what he looked like. Something like this, perhaps? Whichever is the case. I was planning to censor his appearance anyway. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about something. Stop, are you here to express your displeasure with me? The what now? If you are, do let me know from the get-go. I had a feeling it was about time this would happen. 3 months, not a bad record for working without a workplace conflict. Oh, if this is about quitting, you'd find a much better audience among the human resources team. No, I mean, I'm just here to thank you for picking me, some dude from the back streets, to work here. I heard it was you that made the hiring decision. I don't know how to put this, but you're the only one who saw my... what's the word? Yeah, my potentiality. You saw something that no one's cared to look into before. Know what I mean? But it had nothing to do with something so grandiose like his potentiality. A wing does not hire people from the back streets for something so insignificant. While this information has never been publicly available, the Lobotomy Corporation's primary criterion was trauma. Candidates with horrible, insurmountable trauma were often favored by the company. And, in an indirect way, it was only natural they would begin to favor candidates who originate from the back streets. Your greetings are acknowledged, Jimmy. Now, feel free to leave my office. I ain't Jimmy. Anyway, I've been meaning to ask Mr. Hohenheim, why do you always enjoy being alone? It may come as a surprise to you, but I'm very adept at spending my time all on my own. It's one of the hundreds of distinguishing features that set me apart from ordinary men. Say, don't you need someone to be like your loyal right-hand man? My right hand is doing just fine, thank you very much. Do you believe in potentialities, Hohenheim? What an unrelentingly stubborn employee he was, even in hindsight. Thanks to you, I do, and I've been thinking, if I keep at it, one day I might even find myself living at large in a nest, changing my world little by little. Kinda like how a thing like me managed to snag a position here at Lobotomy Corporation. So, I'm thinking here, I want to stick around in your circle. To bring about such a drastic change to one's life is in the realm of feasibility for an exceptional researcher like myself indeed. But you are, like most of the Rebel, painfully average in most qualities and therefore unlikely to be the moving force in that change. I have no faith in universal things like potentialities. I have faith in myself and myself alone. Besides, I'm not very partial to mathematical statistics like the probability theory anyway. So I would like to keep both my right and left hands as my own. Have a nice day. Want to know something about me? I'm the kind of guy who doesn't really think about things. Action before deliberation, you get me? Thoughtless and carefree. Possibly the only merit to be found in those who originate from the back streets. Or was that a thinly veiled threat of physical assault? No, I'm talking about the new Abno that just got shipped here. It's a tricky one to manage, I'll tell you what. It reads your mind, screwing up all kinds of strategies or whatever, as long as it's based on hard logic. Want to shoot for the Department of the Year award? Together? You seem to be rather skilled in the art of transactions. One of the few merits found in those who originate from back streets. I will admit, I suppose I was overcome by a certain ennui back then. And in hindsight, it was foolish of me to engage in such inane conversations. You let us. The remnants of my past come to haunt us. Perhaps it is I whom they truly wish to hurt. Clashes occur when two attack skills of same power. Okay. So these guys get nastier. Yeah, they get nastier when you knock one of them out. So I think it might be about whittling them down gradually. Do I have any wrath skills to use here? No. Do I have any gluttony skills to use here? No. Huh. Wait, no, we do have a wrath. Actually, if memory serves... Yeah, an overclocked Ardor Blossom Star hits 5 people, so it might be worth looking into that, but I think I also should probably start saving up to get my hands on Fluid Sac. I mean, Yi Sang's already looking a bit banged up. Although if we get lucky, assist attack might get it for us instead.
담겨 있지. 잘했군. 한 놈도 남지 않을 때까지 지금을 반복한다.
Oh, they're crazy now. Hmm.
고귀하게
완성되었다.
잘했군. 한 놈도 남지 않을 때까지 지금을 반복한다. 쉴 새는 없다.
It's finally here, the Department of the Year award. Indeed, I have finally done it. With some minor assistance from you, of course, and some other employees. Come on, admit it. Don't you notice that a lot more employees are saying hello, good morning, and what have you to you in the hallways compared to when your reputation was a bit... You know, it's all just because I'm that good of a right-hand man. I will admit that your intuitive and spontaneous eye was of some assistance when it came to identify certain observations among abnormalities. This is the potentiality I was talking about, man. The same thing you saw in me when you decided to get me on board. Apologies for ruining the moment, but the next few years quickly and busily flew by without much trouble. Of course, we picked up ourselves a few more Department of the Year awards, some promotions, and some collaborative researchers. Yet all things must come to an end. The infamous fall of the Botany Corporation, for one. You've us. So I don't suppose you have any trouble hazarding what they're all telling me, even as the words come out fragmented. You left us. Nothing but words of endless resentment. You left us behind. The fall of the former L Corp. I remember what Miss Yuri told us. The site crumbled in an instant, trapping the employees in there with the abnormalities. What is the sound? The whole structure is quaking. What the hell is... Initiating site burial in 100 seconds. Any remaining employees must immediately evacuate the structure. Counting down. 95. 94. The escape pod's to the surface, I hear, but there's only one seat left. They're saying that the next one's in 5 minutes? Listen closely. At the risk of sounding rather callous, I must inform you that the chance of survival in case of crises such as this is usually granted to only a very small minority of those affected. Some who prioritize the fairness of the process may settle on primitive methods, such as drawing lots to see who gets to escape. And in more barbaric groups, the survival would be decided by none other than the rule of might. However, I'm glad to find myself among those who are on the side of intelligence, so I make this argument, a suggestion before you. Compare yourselves, whose sole final purpose in life is clinging to your mediocre office jobs, and making good on your debt payments, and me, who's produced several groundbreaking epochal theses and research results at such an early age. Whose life, in your eyes, is of greater worth? Yes, and that is how this tale ends. The compound collapsed 90 seconds later. I left the employees of my department behind and boarded the escape pod elevator, and survived. How could you? Without even a hint of remorse. Wrath is a hideous emotion. I am here today only because I have always maintained a cold, rational head. The L Corp branch within Hohenheim's Dungeon of Fathoms begins to crumble. It almost appeared as though his heart was crumbling as well. Well, now that's over with, I invite you to come face me, the Distortion. And the experiment will come to an end. But just finding and defeating his Distortion in a fight? I don't think that'll bring him back. I just know it. I agree. We're still in deep waters here. This can't possibly be all there is to it. I almost wonder if this is going to be an actual test or something. If it'll change the latest parts. But anyway, we're almost 30 minutes, so here's where I'm going to call it. Until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around.